All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give our honor and glory to Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawashi, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders, great millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect. I pray that this lesson be edifying to so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians who consist of the 12 tribes of Israel, your fellow sovereign Yahawah from the Jim Orlando camp. And I pray that this lesson be edifying to you all out there, okay? Real quick, the Heavenly Father's name is Yahawah, who they really call God, okay? His name means he is, okay? Yahawah means he is, all right? And then you have the only begotten Son, who they English call Yahawashi, and his name means he is deliverer. Okay, he is the deliverer. He delivers, which he is going to be the deliverer for Israel. Okay, the elect on this side. Okay, and furthermore, the rest of Israel, being brought back by his blood. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to get those things out the way because those are going to be the names that you new brothers and sisters out there are going to have to call on. You know, when I say brothers and sisters, contained through the spirit, through the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Okay, and then also, the speckled birds. And if this resonates with your spirit, okay, then you may be an Israelite. Just because you don't look like the darkest, man out there, okay, does not mean you're not an Israelite. Okay, you could be in China. Okay, as it says in James 1:1, you can be everywhere, man. You can be because the Lord, that's what He did. The Lord scattered us. Okay, James, pretty much, preaching to the 12 tribes are scattered abroad, greetings. So, yeah, had to say that, let the people know that ultimately, it's of the spirit. If your spirit resonate with this, your spirit bears witness that we are the children of the Most High Yahawashi. So here we go. It says, same shit. That's my title. Same shit every year, 4th of July, okay? And you know what we're talking about. I don't know what's in Ecclesiastes created. Excuse my spelling. I want to have that on deck, okay? So, okay, so here we have it, okay? And as you can see, it was a horrific 4th of July for these worldly ass people. And most of these deaths probably, you know, Jake probably is on the map for most of these deaths. Okay, it says right here, shooting at Compton, 4th of July party leaves 2 dead. Suck. And 3 wounded. Okay, that sounds like Jake. Compton area, that's Jake, man. It says a woman killed, several injured in 4th of July fireworks incidents across SoCal. 2 young men died in separate upstate South Carolina lake incidents on 4th of July. 5 killed. Chicago always come through. 23 hurt in least violent July 4th weekend in at least 7 years. Okay. Marine Patrol urges water safety after tragic death on 4th of July weekend near Horn Island. Okay. At least 25 deaths over 4th of July weekend attributed to heat. Okay. Illegal 4th of July fireworks have 1 dead, many injured in California. Okay. ATV rider killed in 4th of July crash in Clark County. Alcohol impairment suspected. Cause of death revealed for Aiken, man who died during South Carolina firework display. Florida influencer Brianna Johnson, 21, killed in drive-by shooting at the 4th of July celebration. So, hey, the list goes on and on. Football Nolan Xavier Wells, who vanished during 4th of July celebration. Our brothers have been doing videos on this one. This particular Jake hanging out with Edomites, who they look to be Edomite, who they look to so-called be Edomites. Okay, in this situation, this always happening, man. 4th of July celebration, found dead. Family says, so and so. Okay, 19-year-old fatally shot 6 others wounded during a chaotic 4th of July teen takeover. Birmingham hospitality community remembers woman who died on 4th of July, whatever the fuck her. Okay. Family friend charged after 8-year-old died in a horrific 4th of July fireworks explosion. Look at this, 12 killed in crashes, 4 in drownings during 4th of July holiday weekend in Georgia, data reveals. So, hey, man, as we're going to read here, this is not intended to be too long, man. It's just straight to the point. Let me see. Straight to the point. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 39, verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. So you don't want to be caught during these times celebrating the white man's holidays, Esau's holidays. Okay, because the Lord is going to cause havoc to fall on these holidays every single time. Because they're idol worship. Okay, this it's idol worship. It's self worship. Okay, it's like the whole time my damn thing was holiday. Okay, it's like okay, so it's idol worship. On sore strokes. This is which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Okay. And as you can see, they appease, the wrath of the Lord. Okay, they appease them. A lot of deaths on 4th of July, verse 29, fire and hell and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, which, with the teeth of wild beasts, a situation, you have the situation with the Marion County, then I think in Florida, two different separate cases, motherfuckers being ate up by alligators, okay, being ate up. So this is all, the wrath of the Lord. Okay, so it's teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. The girl that got killed in a drive-by. Okay, they shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his words. So the Lord had them, at all those articles we read, the Lord had had a full clip, ready for the, a full clip of appeasement. Okay, a full clip, and it's sparing out the young or the old. Look at this, 8-year-old girl died in 4th of July fireworks explosion. 4 shot, 1 killed in San Bernardino on 4th of July. That sword. 17-year-old dies in shooting after 4th of July event. This is mostly Jake, man. Okay, this is mostly Jake. And the Lord has warned us. Okay, this is Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1, and I'm gonna start with the headers: the sovereignty of Yahawah. Hear ye the word which the Lord Yahawah speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord Yahawah, learn out the way of the heathen, okay, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Okay, why would it say this to the house of Israel? Okay, if we all was equal. Okay, if we all was, under the umbrella of Yahawashi Yahawashi, why would it say this? Okay, the fact is that we were set apart. The Israelites through the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, through the bloodline. We were set apart. We were given laws and, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, on a lot of things. The Lord chose us to be a peculiar people, a light, a light into the nations on how to live, how to conduct, how to rule, we are that light. The Israelites, we are that light, man. Okay, so we wasn't supposed to learn the way of the heathen, okay? For the customs of the people are vain, 4th of July is one of their customs, okay? And it's fucking vain. This is the place gotten for riches and deceit, okay? For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the works of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not. Okay. As you see here, that's you know what holiday that's talking about. Okay. You know what holiday that's talking about. The axe, the silver, and the gold. Okay. All right. So Jake is in the house of feasting right now, man. You know, and while in the house of feasting, they're doing these holidays, which these holidays go back to certain gods, or go to represent Esau's kingdom. This is Ecclesiastes, okay, chapter 7, verse 2, NIV. It is better to go to a house of mourning than to go to a house of feasting. For death is the destiny of everyone. The living should take it to his heart. Take this to heart. It's better to spend your time at funerals. No, let me go down to the Berean. It is better to enter a house of mourning than a house of feasting, since death is the end of every man, and the living should take this to heart. Okay. So yeah, man, Jake is not in the house of mourning, they're in the house of party, in the house of feasting. The house of I gotta, hey, pop out, okay, and show niggas, that fucking spirit, that Kendrick spirit, Kendrick Lamar spirit. Okay. And I'm not gonna jump on too many articles. It's just, you know, it's not to be, it's not to be, intended to be too long. Okay. And I wanted to get the commentary of Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 2. Here's the commentary right here. Okay, and it says right here in the header, do not learn the way of the nations. Okay. It says Israel was surrounded by cultures steeped in idolatry. Okay, it's still to this same day. There's nothing different. It's the same shit to this day. You know, everything you turn around is just full of idolatry. As the brother's going to, man, Esau has made many idolaters, many, and I mean MINI and MANY. Okay, you can go on, and flick it up and worship yourself on Instagram. You know, So, hey, a lot of people have come in a like manner of Esau, man. That's why I said falling out the way of the heathen, because he's contrary to the Most High Yahawashi. Okay, Israel was surrounded by cultures steeped in idolatry, magic, and superstition. The Lord's people were called to be distinct. Okay, we were called to be set apart from these heathens. Okay, do not conform to this world. Romans chapter 12, verse 2 echoes the same warning for today's believers. We measure every custom, trend, and world view against Yahweh's word. Practical application, holidays, evaluate entertainment, holidays, and habits. Do they honor Hamashiach or mirror pagan values? Okay, and the question is, the answer is that they mirror pagan values. Okay, they don't benefit our people. Okay, teach children biblical discernment so they won't observe ungodly patterns by default. And Fourth of July is an ungodly pattern. Okay, the Fourth of July is an ungodly pattern. Yeah, let me go here real quick. They gotta put it here. This is Leviticus 26, verse 18. Read that in AMP. If in spite of all this you still will not listen to me and be obedient, then I will punish you 7 times more for your sins. So you wonder why, motherfuckers laid out on the street, why the death tolls of Jakes and Latinos and Native American Indians are so high. Okay, it's because we made a covenant with the Lord. We fucked up, and Jake is not acknowledging their sins. They're just letting the sins stack up. Okay. All right. Let me grab this real quick. Okay, because being in the world, is celebrating these holidays that the world has. And all of it's contrary to Yahawashi. Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, NLT version, but let Yahweh transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Okay, and then people think that brainwashing is bad. Actually, it's really good. We get to wash the filth off of our brain that Esau has put there, through systematic systematic cycles. Okay, never ended. We used to once be a part of this, man. But let Yahweh transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know Yahweh's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. Okay, His will is not for you to follow these heathenistic ass people, man. Okay, to follow these heathen ass fucking holidays. That's not the Lord's will for you, man. Okay. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. 4th of July, as you can see, it was a shit show. Okay, deaths of many, heat, motherfuckers dying during the heat, you know, and that's just what it's gonna be, man. It's gonna happen until the end of time, until we see Jake ass in the fucking, until we see Jake ass in the kingdom. Lord willing, we build that first flight. Okay, Lord willing, we build the first. You know, you know, Lord willing, we build the first. To walk into the kingdom, man. Lord willing. All right, but a lot of Jake, they're gonna be slain. Okay, the Lord comes. He's not coming to send peace. Okay, he's not coming to send peace. All those prophets that prophesied peace in his name, they lied. But that's not what it's about right now. He's coming to send the sword and famine. Okay? He's coming to send the sword. So yeah, with that, I want to give our honor and glory to Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawashi, Bahashim, Kakodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, and shalom to the whole elect. I pray that this lesson was edifying to so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians who consist of the 12 tribes of Israel. Until next time, it's your fellow servant Yahawah for the Jeremiah Orlando camp. Shalom.